What's up, guys? It's your girl Proxy, coming at you with baby's first pre-recorded and edited video. And I'm here to give you some professional advice on finding your art style. Since this is my first video, hello! I'm Proxy. I'm a tiny alien piloting a human suit around like Remy Ratatouille. Using her as a disguise, I work as a storyboard artist for animation. You may have seen my work in Has-Been Hotel, Helluva Boss, Amphibia, Onyx Equinox, Tangled the series, DC Superhero Girls, and I've got a couple more coming down the pipe. I'm also an independent animator working on a short-form sci-fi series called Enceladus 5. Now that you know my qualifications, let's get to the video. I get a lot of comments on my TikTok videos or on Instagram saying stuff like, "Wow, I really love this art style," or "How did you find your art style?" or "This art style reminds me of XYZ thing." And my first thought is always, they think I have an art style? I feel like a lot of people don't really think they have an art style and are kind of just doing whatever they feel like doing at the time. And at the same time, a lot of people have this kind of anxiety about having some kind of recognizable or distinct look to their art. I've also been watching a lot of Mohammed Akbadi's videos about various types of art drama on TikTok, which I find very interesting. It seems like most people who ask these questions or worry about this kind of thing are very young or very new artists, and I'm here to tell you, it's not that deep. It's okay to try the jelly art style. It's okay to try drawing your character's eyes on their forehead. It's okay to try and copy Vivzy Pop, because every kind of era you go through is teaching you something different, and that's going to help contribute to your overall artistic development. So, here's some tips to help you find your way. Number 1, learn to draw. No, wait, come back. I promise I have something original to say. This is the part of the video where people usually tell you, draw from life. Do still lifes, life drawing, observe your surroundings. Stuff you usually hear from your art teacher that just doesn't understand your whack-ass anime drawings. And that is good advice. I mean, life drawing is always something you should do if you feel compelled to do so. However, controversial opinion, I don't think it's always necessary. The way I see it, the point of learning to draw isn't necessarily to be able to render the perfect photorealistic human form, but to understand what it is you're drawing. Here's what I mean. Look at PewDiePie. He started from zero, just trying to copy from manga, and you can see such a clear progression from him just copying what he sees to starting to understand more of the figure. Even if he's still technically copying, it looks like he knows what he is drawing now. Throughout my drawing life, I've had a lot of these little, brain unlock moments where I suddenly understand what the symbols I'm drawing are supposed to be. Here's what I mean. So, Sailor Moon here, her nose is like a triangle, and this is kind of a staple of the anime style. I used to just draw a triangle or like a little point and call it a nose, but one day I understood that it's not just a triangle, it's the shadow of half of the nose. Or this line here on top of the eye, that's not just a line, it's the fold of his eyelid. I also remember when I was drawing a page from the Cardcaptor Sakura manga, I suddenly understood clothing folds. These ruffles aren't just wavy lines, each one is connected to this spot here at the waist. And we can see where the fabric is underneath and how that connects to the same place. Or like on Steve Gordon's model sheets from X-Men Evolution. These model sheets taught me so much about anatomy just from looking at them and copying them and, figuring out what each line meant. This Jean Grey construction sheet made me start thinking about volume, especially this butt bit, when I realized that the human body is shaped by the muscles underneath. And I know that sounds really basic and simple, but if you're a new artist who specializes in cartooning and stuff, that might not be something that you've thought about before. I didn't. I was 12, but, we all gotta start somewhere. I also remember learning to draw the thigh from these Kurt model sheets. God, I must have copied these ones 100 billion times. And one time my mom was like, "Why are you drawing so many little demons?" Speaking of copying artists, here comes tip number 2. Steal. See an artist whose style you really admire? Copy them. Study what they do. Some things you'll retain, some things will stick, and maybe you'll find another artist whose style you like, but who's maybe a little bit different. Copy them. Study what they do. These stolen styles become your influences. Each time you try something new, you're teaching yourself something new. And all of those things will stick together to eventually become something unique. What I'm saying is, Jelly Art Style might be teaching you the fundamentals of digital painting and you don't even know it yet. For me, Rumiko Takahashi was a huge influence. I love the proportions of her characters, overall really rounded and cute. I like how she drew her characters with really long legs and short torsos, but they were still anatomically constructed and believable. Actually, when I was in college, I redrew a page from Rumiko Takahashi's Ranma 1/2 manga. And I used Pro-Quill to ink the lines to get that kind of wavy, hand-drawn feel that she has in her work. And it ended up not being for me, but I feel like I still retained a lot of her influence. Jamie Hewlett was another one for me. I loved how he struck this incredible line between realism and cartoon. I paid attention to where he went into detail and where he stuck with simplicity and how he accessorizes his characters and the line weight variation, and I also learned how to draw the interior of the mouth from him. And you may notice the way I draw mouths is nothing like this right now, but because I kind of carry that influence with me, I learned how to construct that anatomy from studying Jamie Hewlett's drawings. I know some of you out there right now are drawing the old snarky sideways mouth, and it's okay, it's a canon event, but consider the shape of the skull, the shape of the teeth, what's going on underneath and around the mouth, how the cheek bunches up when you're smiling, how, where the canines are, where the gums are. Now keep in mind, not every style you try is going to work out for you. You're not going to enjoy inking the way some people ink, or painting the way some people paint. For example, you might find out that you really hate inking with Pro-Quill. You might hate inking at all. Which brings me to tip number 3. Lean into what you love. I joke that I'm really great at being a storyboard artist because I never finish anything. I don't like painting. I don't like rendering. I just like to capture the vibe. I like sketching. I like doing cool poses. I like drawing characters in motion. When I do line art, I usually use thicker lines. I love delicate, thin, intricate lines, but whenever I tried it myself, I found it tedious and everything looks stiff and lifeless. Some people don't even use lines at all. Their strength is color and volume, and some people draw incredibly cute, simple characters, and that in itself, that kind of design sense is such a huge strength. But especially if you're a hobby artist, I think your top priority is liking what you do. So find something that is enjoyable for you and master that skill. And you'll just have a good time creating art. And if you're having a good time trying new things, style will come naturally to you. Tip number 4 is, no matter what you do, no matter how many styles you try, your art is always going to be yours. It'll always have that spice that only you can put into it. Go look at one of those memes going around Twitter or Instagram, where it shows somebody's art from 10 years ago and somebody's art now. A lot of times, even though the person has improved exponentially over the years, you can kind of still tell that they drew the before image too. I don't know what it is, maybe something about the brain-to-hand connection, but I feel like everybody's art just kind of does naturally have a vibe to it. And you might as well start cultivating that now, because regardless of how good you are at the moment, 2 years from now you're going to look back at your art and cringe anyway. And that's a good thing, because it means you improved. Well, I hope this video taught you something. Or at the very least, I hope that it helped you gain a little bit of confidence on your art journey. If there's anything specific you'd like me to talk about, please leave it in the comments below. I'll try to answer whatever questions you have, or I can maybe tell some stories about what it's like to work in animation, or, I don't know, whatever I feel like, maybe. If you're interested, I have some animatics on my channel and some shorts up. Give those a watch if you feel like it. I'll also leave links to all my social media below if you want to see any of my art. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye!